Good evening, everyone. My name is Sharon Lewis. My research presentation this evening is based on trait theory, which is a theory of human communication. The book that I will be referencing this evening is Theories of Human Communication by Stephen Littlejohn, Karen Foss, and John Otso. This is for Dr. Bailey's class, Communications 520 at Liberty University. First, I'm going to start off by giving you the overall gist of trait theory. It began in 1936 by Gordon Allport. He believed that trait theory is a human communication that is transferred through the qualities and characteristics that we exhibit on a daily basis. The authors of our book, Littlejohn, Foss, and Otso, states that communication is based on the given moment depending on traits you exhibit as an individual and the situations and also the environment that you are placed in at the given moment. Communication and personality goes hand in hand. When we first meet someone, we determine whether they're going to be a close friend, a work associate, or just someone that we encounter on a daily basis, or just someone that we may meet in the grocery store. Now let's discuss super traits. It was coined by John Digman and it is linked to personality. Personality is in the center of the 5 super traits, and the 5 super traits consist of openness, neuroticism, agreeableness, extroversion, and conscientiousness. Again, personality being in the middle, then you have openness, neuroticism, conscientiousness, agreeableness, and extroversion. The trait approach offers different ways to understand trait theory. And the 2 trait theories that are added into super traits is communication apprehension and argumentativeness. Communication apprehension refers to anxiety associated with oral communication and was developed by James McCroskey and his colleagues. On the other end of the spectrum, you have argumentativeness, which was developed by Dominic Infante, Andrew Rancer, and their colleagues. It engages in conversations about controversial topics while supporting your own point of view. There are some controversial topics that are going on in the media now, and they may vary from Black Lives Matter to Blue Lives Matter, or President Donald Trump, or when President Obama was in office. Just like any other theory, trait theory has a beginning. Trait theory begins in babies and develops on to toddlers, and then from toddlers to adolescents, then to adolescents to adults. According to Senior Director of Programs 0 to 3, Rebecca Parklane believes that we're all born with a set of temperamental inclinations, which is very true. Ultimately, the study conducted by Rebecca Parklane believes that Baby Unique's approach to life is ultimately through communication, and it helps them thrive. And we ultimately, trait theories are a part of human reality. Remember at the beginning of the video where personality is at the focal point of the five-factor model, five-factor trait model. Well, personality plays a major role in trait theory. Theories of human communication, written by Littlejohn and his colleagues, state that trait theories from work in psychology that sought to understand of personality and behavior that remain relatively constant for an individual. So in other words, remember when I said that your personality is developed as babies to adolescents to adults. Well, it is common, more than likely common, that those traits will continue to be with you from the individual of you being a child up to adulthood. Now it's time to touch on biblical worldviews. Sure, communication is imperative through trait theories in school, work, or during daily interactions. But when biblical worldviews is present, is my favorite part, because in it, communication in the Bible is imperative. We all perceive the Bible differently, and I would like to think that we perceive it as Christians do, although all people don't perceive the Bible the same. Colossians 4:6 states, "Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how and you ought to answer each person accordingly." When I think of Colossians 4:6, this is how I perceive that we should decipher this Bible verse. Another Bible verse that I would like to make reference to when I think of trait theory and communication as a whole, utilizing theories of human communication, is Proverbs 16:23, which is ultimately the way an individual acts, think, or feels in any given situation. Proverbs 16:23 reads, "The heart of the wise makes his speech judicious and adds persuasiveness to his lips." In conclusion, trait theorists and psychologists will continue to analyze and critique trait theory. Let's face it, it has been analyzed and picked apart and pulled apart since 1936 with Gordon Allport again. And it will continue to empower and educate through communication behaviors as long as behaviors continue to change, which they are continuing to change and have changed over the years. Thank you very much for listening and watching my presentation. Enjoy your evening.